Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Drive Pink Stadium here in Fort Lauderdale as Inter Miami 2 gets ready to host New York Red Bulls 2. It's great to have you with us tonight. I'm Michael Watchering with our entire crew as you take a look at the Eastern Conference table. Miami sits at the bottom, but they're riding a better run of form. Goals have been stingier to come by for opponents. On the other side, New York Red Bulls 2 sits in the 4 slot of the table. Crown Legacy starting to pull away, but Red Bulls 2 looking to maintain its pace with Columbus Crew and New England Revolution. Great to have you with us for this matchup. Earlier this season, these clubs squared off back in New York on May 21st, and it was Inter Miami 2 falling by a 1-0 margin back in that contest. And we're just about ready to kick off between these two sides for the second time this season as we take a look at the starting 11 for Inter Miami, and a boatload of changes, 6 in fact, for Federico Higuain and his group here this evening. A 4-4-2, Borgelin up top with Ascana as well. Those two highly potent, and New York Red Bulls 2, they make 4 changes as well. And keep an eye on number 31 on the left flank, Ibrahim Koussouli. He has scored 5 goals, has 3 assists in his last 6 matches. And this should be a fun one here tonight between these two sides. It'll be New York Red Bulls 2 in the white uniforms with red accents. Inter Miami will have the all-black uniforms on here today. In net for New York Red Bulls will be AJ Marcucci. He's in the lime green. And the keeper for Inter Miami will be Cole Jensen. He's out there in the blue uniforms as well. So, a game that will be started nearly an hour later because of the inclement weather that flew through the southern Florida area, which of course you get in the summer. Little pop-up showers here and there. Rain will pour down and things will clear out. And that's the scenario that we're in right now officially. It'll be about a 51-minute overall delay and should be able to get rolling here at 7:51 here on the East Coast. Great to have you with us. MLS Next Pro action here today. These two sides on their first teams yesterday didn't pick up the full complement of points. It was Inter Miami's first team yesterday picking up a draw against Austin 1-1, and Red Bulls fell 2-1 to Columbus. So we're ready to go on a Sunday evening here at Drive Pink Stadium. Our official for this matchup is Alyssa Nichols. She blows the whistle, and here we go for the second time this season. Inter Miami and Red Bulls 2. Let's see how these two clubs come out quickly. Ibrahim Sakaya, spoke with him earlier this week, the manager for Red Bulls, and he said one of the biggest things that he talks about with his team is scoring quickly. They've done that a boatload this year. 5 goals in the opening 10 minutes. On the right-hand side, a charge forward for a Miami team that has struggled to score this season. Johnson slides it through, a cross comes into the box. It's answered first time with a clearance. Ball gets tangled up for just a moment. Cameron Johnson back with it. Plays it back to Tyler Hall. Taken off of his feet by Sabufu. And there's a whistle, an early foul as well. Three teams in the lineup for Miami. And 4 teenagers in the lineup for New York in this matchup. Should be a fascinating day here at Drive Pink Stadium. See how these clubs come out. Ibrahim Sakaya told me that he thought that first matchup was highly challenging despite the challenges that Miami have had this season. Off the free kick, the ball booted to the middle of the yard. Charge forward here and a hard, low-lining ball. It's swept away. First year for Red Bulls 2 in MLS Next Pro after being in the USL Championship the last 8 years. This is a beautiful ball forward, but quickly off his line is Cole Jensen. First goalkeeper off the board in last year's MLS Super Draft. 18th overall by Miami out of Xavier. Temperature's not awful. Humid, of course. Another giveaway here in the midfield. And a build forward. Estrella plays wide. Julian Hall, who's been an elite goal scorer at the youth level for a long time. Gets dispossessed through the middle of the field. Body's tangled up, and Melissa Nichols calls another foul. And a few of those early, and now a body goes down. Here's another look at that. It comes after the play, so there's your foul. And absolutely, it looks like Dylan Sullivan, maybe a little bit of a delayed reaction, but certainly took a brunt of that. And he goes down. Boatload of games this evening. Mount Sporting Kansas City off to a fast start, 4-0. The advantage on Whitecaps 2. Philly leading at NYC 2-0, and Minnesota with a 1-0 edge at home against Portland. The other game scoreless so far in action. And a busy night on a Sunday of Independence Day weekend in MLS Next Pro. Sullivan getting tended to. Won a national championship less than a year ago at Clemson. And after taking a hard strike to the chest, walk over to the sideline and get a much deserved breather. This is a Miami team that's been a little bit difficult to figure out this season. They've started to play significantly better of late. 5 of the last 7 games, they've allowed just 1 goal. The problem is, in the other 2, they've given up 7 over that stretch. So at times they've been difficult to break down, but at other times it has been easy for opponents to find the net, having given up 31 goals this year, the 5th most in the league. A foul whistled, and Red Bulls were off to the races for just a fraction of a moment. New York on the other side, really good start to the year on the road. First 4 unbeaten on the road, but they've been winless in their last 3, including a 6-5 loss in PK's at Crown Legacy over that stretch. Here comes Inter Miami. They have struggled to score this season. Has pelted out of play by Alexander. 4th fewest goals in the league this season with just 18 of them. This match number 16 for Inter Miami. Same for New York as this ball's into the box. Sabufu wins the header on the long throw, and it'll be a recycle here for Tyler Hall. Excellent ball forward. Lucas Meek, who's been a goal scorer this season for Inter Miami, lofts it into the air. The header does go back on frame, but easily controlled by Marcucci. Well, goaltending, or goalkeeping rather, has been a major strong suit for Red Bulls this season. 2nd in MLS Next Pro in save percentage. That's between Marcucci making his 13th start of the year and Alan Rutkowski, the 14-year-old. bounces hard off of the surface. Red Bulls players collide. Good balance there. Now Johnson again trying to spring forward. I believe we're getting a foul back behind the play. Bulls coming off of a win. Clinical effort, 3-1 over FC Cincinnati. And it was such a good start to that one, scoring 30 seconds into the match. And they never looked back after that. Ibrahim Kasuli with a assist and a goal. Miami hasn't been known necessarily to hold a lot of possession. But here in the opening 8 minutes, they've held a lot of it. Have the lone shot so far. Once again, making a good charge forward. Hustling out there and just getting there in time was Mercucci. He had a lot of ground to cover there. That was kind of a dangerous decision with Nocita asking him to come out. Mercucci, 13th start. The team 8-4 when he started a match this season. So typically gives them a good chance to win. Here's a nice flare through the middle. Julian Hall, a tad heavy on that second opportunity. It's Cole Jensen coming out aggressively to pick it up. Third team All-American last year at Xavier, despite having 0 minutes in his first couple seasons in Cincinnati. And the question for Miami at this point is, they start finding a way to get some results. Had a win and a draw before the loss last week. Sabufu, ball gets cleared away. Miami at Huntsville, 2-0. Actually 2 weeks ago, I guess the last match day in which they participated in. Be the more accurate statement with their last loss. A little bit of extra time to gather their thoughts in preparation for this match. Mullings. As that ball punched away by Sesak. There's Mullings. Gets it back after a failed clearance. Estrella. Spinning around a defender, Reed. Reed is looking for Hall. It's a very good touch, and it is Tyler Hall that has to get to it first. Tyler Hall, 55 in black, Julian Hall, 41 in white, no relation. And a corner kick coming. First one of the match. Red Bulls an opportunity here early. How do they fare on set pieces? Keep an eye on number 3, Matt Nocita. He's 6'8". Ball is bent in. First time runner, tapped in. And it does get cleared away. Hefty opening touch. But eventually gets cleared. One thing about Miami that you can pretty much book every time they're out there is they'll concede. They haven't recorded a clean sheet this season. One of the 2 teams, along with FC Cincinnati, 2 that have conceded. In fact, opponents have scored a goal in 26 consecutive matches against Inter Miami 2. The last time it happened was over a year ago when they faced Cincy 2. 4-0 win on June 19th. Is today, though, the day that they can come away with a clean sheet. That's delightful work by Cameron Johnson, and eventually draws the foul. Miami asking for a card, and Alyssa Nichols is going to oblige that request. Jaden Reed gets the yellow. Here's another look at it. Johnson made an excellent move right around midfield to spring himself forward. And then Reed given the yellow. And now a free kick coming for Miami. Ball pelts into the back post. Marcucci actually had to backpedal. See the aggression that he had at the top of the six. He picks it up, however. Talking with Ibrahim Sakua earlier this week. And a lot to be said about that FC Cincinnati match. Said that the plan for his group all year is to be on that front foot. And that's where they're at now. Runners towards the box. This ball comes in. It's Tyler Hall getting there first. Sule was the intended target. Another opportunity. This time more white jerseys in there. This ball all the way through, and what a great finish on the back post. Red Bulls 2 get the opener in the 14th minute. Sabufu finishes 1-0 New York. Here it is again. Look at all the numbers that get forward here. So many different men in the box. It's a hard, low-driven ball. Sabufu got the left foot to it. And a little bit of help from the woodwork, but finishes. He scored last week, 30 seconds in, and he scores in the opening quarter hour of this one. And just as I was talking about Ibrahim Sakea's key to the match, be on the front foot, get out early. That's exactly what Red Bulls 2 do. A first half dominant team, 14 goals now in the opening half of matches this season. And a 1-0 edge. Excellent execution. And Miami find themselves in an all too familiar position. Make it now 27 consecutive games in which Inter Miami have allowed at least one goal. Red Bulls have been nearly impossible to beat this season when scoring first. 7 wins, 1 loss and 2 draws when getting the opening goal. Foul whistled by Sabufu this time around. Goes exactly to the point that the manager was talking about. You get out and play with that style, give the guys confidence early. So many young teams in MLS Next Pro. Pressure mounts. Both coaches echoed the need of the development within these groups. Certainly very important to develop. But one of the missing pieces seemingly within the development stages is developing that winning mentality. And certainly what makes this league such a benefit for so many players, for so many organizations. It's not just getting the technical aspect of the game, not just learning how to play and learning to enhance your skills. It's finding ways during a 90-minute match on having consequences to the skills that you put in. And another foul whistle, Johnson being a havoc wrecker. And every coach that I've talked to in MLS Next Pro this year Let's discuss that winning mindset, that winning mentality that is very difficult to teach. But when you're in situations that this league puts you in, not just by playing that full 90 minutes, but also when you go to penalties after a draw, there's no longer that ability to sit there and think, okay, we'll just get through the 90, and if we've pulled back from a deficit down or we've given up a goal late, we can still get out of there with that extra point. The mindset is always on the result. It certainly leads to a lot of the decision making for groups moving forward, because at the end of the day, as much as it is to develop these players to get better, to make an impact, the question has to be asked, how do these players eventually lead to positive results with the first team? And of course, with Inter Miami, it's a young group making that push. It's Messi coming to town at some point this month. Who's going to be able to join him in making the push for Inter Miami? Here's an opportunity. They have plenty of numbers forward. Neville into the box. It's Nocita that clears it away. This portion of the match is brought to you by AutoNation, the official automotive retailer and dealership of Inter Miami CF. Neville plops that ball into the air. He'll get it back and have an opportunity to reset. Ball sails out of play. Well, it's pretty simple for Inter Miami, and I guess certainly simple whenever you discuss this sport in general, but you look at Inter Miami, when they score 2 or more goals in a match, they're 4-1-1. When they score 1 or fewer, they're 0-8-1. Obviously, when you score more goals, better things happen, but when you also are talking about a team that's given up the 5th most goals in the league, it just goes to show that with goals brings confidence for Miami. But down a goal here in the opening 20 minutes, the challenge rises for a Miami team that is just looking for ways right now to win matches. Red Bulls called for the foul. 20th minute of action here at Drive Pink Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. Michael Watring and our entire crew, pleased to have you with us on a Sunday. You're having a fine day. Excited for the holiday coming up in a couple days. Hopefully you snuck in a little holiday tomorrow as well and make it an extended weekend. Red Bulls trying to make their push for a second here in the opening half. Nocita. Reed with a good spin. Hall draws the foul. Neville the guilty party. Great bloodlines for Neville. Father Phil played for Manchester United, Everton, and England. Nephew of Gary, who had 400 appearances with Man U. And between the two brothers, Gary and Phil, nearly 150 caps with England. 21 years of age, the defender. Here's a set piece opportunity for Red Bulls too. Jaden Reed, the 21-year-old, played collegiately at UConn. Swings it in. Miami cleared the initial ball. Can't handle the second one, however. Estrella racing to the line. Toe pokes it in. Jensen handles. Ibrahim Sakaya admitted the first matchup not an easy game. Looked at the film throughout the week and got that exact same feeling. This throw goes out of play for a goal kick. Thinks Miami's very good at home, and admitted that throughout the week there was a lot of reason to focus a lot more attention on this match for Miami. Worst goal differential, or the third worst goal differential in the league for Miami. Perhaps starting to iron some things out. Results starting to swing a little bit more in their direction of late. Silver lining for Miami right now, if you're thinking about it, despite the lack of goals this season, they've only been shut out one time at home this season. And is this the opportunity for them to equalize? Numbers pedaling forward here. Excellent defending to get that first ball out of there. That was really good work by Dija, who has the assist on the Sabufu goal. And just like that, the ball switched fields and go out for a throw. Throw gets headed back where it came from. Dija once more. Miami able to clear that ball. This portion of the match is brought to you by Florida Blue, the official health insurance of Inter Miami CF. High arcing throw into the box. That's headed in the wrong direction. Miami able to clear it away. Ball there on the initial clearance. The Leeds team has taken one shot. Both have been on target. Red Bulls scored with theirs. It was saved by Marcucci on the Miami opportunity from Cameron Johnson in the 7th minute. Another long throw taken here. Miami's won the majority of these, but they've headed in the wrong direction. And this time, Fareed Sarsar Cairo does just that, heading it out for a corner kick. After a 51-minute weather delay. Night starting to fall here in South Florida. Second corner kick of the match coming up for the Red Bulls. Low line and cross coming in. And Red Bulls will have to play for a second ball. He gives it right back where it initiated. Mullings making the run. Mullings with choices to make. Very good first touch. Always in the middle on the pass from Kasule. Defense up to the task that time for the home side. But a foul whistled. Free kick coming again for Red Bulls.
In a typical fashion, I'm just getting around here and they already
Here's Jaden Reed.
All right, good job, man.
High into the air this one goes. Jensen easily controls it. Not really asked to do a whole lot there. Jensen 9 saves, 6 goals allowed this season. A variety of keepers have been out there for Miami, and here's another foul on Red Bulls. Well, defensively for New York in this match, whenever Miami has been able to get into the attacking third, they've caused some issues. Several fouls have been whistled against New York. Here Marcucci yelling out to his teammates there. Move to the right to shut that area down as this cross comes in. Back out. Only as far as midfield. Neville. It's a delightful ball forward. Ascana takes the second ball on the left foot. Ball banged off of a boot. Can Miami find a breakthrough in the opening half hour? Just one shot show so far, and it's been 20 minutes since. Here's Neville once more. Slides it forward, but intercepted. Nocita goes down. And a foul will be given back behind the play. Matt Nocita, a Navy man. 22-year-old. Takes the hard one there. Their goals to speak of since the last update around Next Pro this evening. You have Gold Cup action going on right now. Ball nodded along, and this one will go out for a corner. Inter Miami's Modesto Mendez was in the starting 11 for Cuba. He's played a good chunk of games for Miami too this season. Well, several players now with the national teams. Corner kick. High arcing ball all the way to the back post. And a foul whistled on Sabufu. Well, possession have favored Miami by nearly a 2-to-1 ratio at this point in the match. But so much more of the attacking has gone for Red Bulls too, including the goal from Sabufu in the 14th minute as he scores for his second consecutive matches. Lead flaring wide. Instead, Kasule takes on a few defenders before his pass is intercepted. Really nice work by Borgelin. He went right past Nocita. There's some goal-scoring prowess on this Miami group. Borgelin have just one this season, but 14 a year ago. 21-year-old from nearby Margate, Florida. Flag will be down here. There are numbers in the box. This defense strong. Ascana trying to make that run. Sesak will take this, the Philadelphia native. Another ball is on the field that Sesak will have to take care of. And now he'll be ready to take this throw. Nobody's marking him. Could have had a pass from Ascana instead. Deja pokes. Once again, a ball comes into the box. Cleared away for the moment. Ascana. Sesak hits this ball much better. That ball had two black jerseys with it after a pair of Red Bulls whiffed. But neither man able to make a touch to it. And now the counter is on for Red Bulls. Reed. He's right behind the back of a teammate. Ready? 32nd minute. It's Red Bulls 2 on top, looking for a second consecutive win and to sweep the season series against Miami. They won 1-0 on May 14th at home. And Frank Sabufu has the goal in this one in the 14th minute. Watring bringing you the game here from Drive Pink Stadium. Jensen. Here comes Inter Miami once more. Johnson's been a dynamic threat along this right side. Jensen recycles. A lot of those giveaways, really from both sides so far in this first half. Still just a shot apiece so far. 3 corners for Red Bulls, none so far for Inter Miami. Although there have been a couple set opportunities for Miami on some fouls. Come to build once more. Looking very nice here. Borgelin was trying to split the 2 central defenders. Instead, a long ball sent forward. Hall galloping, and Jensen alertly comes off of his line to clear it. Good interception right there in the midfield. Neville. Borgelin comes back. And he did get fouled. Thought for a moment there we weren't going to get one. This portion of the match is brought to you by Baptist Health, the official medical provider to Inter Miami CF.
Go inside, Lee, go inside.
It's kind of the intended target of that pass, but it gets intercepted after Sunderland tried to pick him out. New York on the counter now. Sabufu, the goal scorer. Jostling in the box and cleared away, and another corner coming up for the Red Bulls. So a chance here in the 36th minute for Red Bulls to tack one on for a team that scored 2/3 of its goals this season in the opening 45. And before we get there, a whistle. A little bit of pushing and shoving inside of the 18. Now here comes the swinging corner. Jensen gets a right paw to it. He punches it over everybody, but goes out to the opposite side for the 5th corner of the match for Red Bulls. This time, Bento Estrella, now 17 years of age, was signed a day before his 15th birthday. Be an outswinger from Estrella. Nocita falls down as he gets ahead to it. Harmlessly out for a goal kick. That was the first shot that we had since the goal in the 14th minute. Minnesota have extended their advantage against Portland. That's 3-0 now, an hour gone by. Sporting KC has expanded its lead against Whitecaps, 5-0 now. It's been a match with shots few and far between in this one, 3 total. But a delightful run in the 14th minute from Deja. Whipped a ball across the face of net. Sabufu, sliding goal. That's why Red Bulls has a 1-0 advantage. Punted through the middle of the field. Caputo. Meek into the box. Borgelin taps. Good slide tackle to stop that chance, and now an attempt from outside, saved by Marcucci. Look at this long ball attempt from Caputo. And Marcucci able to play it. So avoid a juicy rebound opportunity. Towards the final few moments here of the first half in a game that got started 51 minutes late due to the weather in the South Florida region. There's a whistle. Or check that, just a throw-in rather. Ibrahim Sakaya told me earlier this week that the goal is a collective goal for his team. The ability to take a step forward in the growth. Since the organization speaks with the players on a daily basis to report on their progress, what they see out of the group. Sunderland had started to make that run as Borgelin turns it over. And now the race is on. Sabufu can't handle it, and Hall will gobble it up. There's so much synchronization from first teams to second teams. Training consistent within those groups as well. Borgelin has it go behind his back. There's a hefty foul, and this will be a card as well. Sabufu will pick up the second yellow of the first half. Goal scorer in this match. One of the things that he mentioned as you take another look at that late challenge, how are the players buying into our style of play? They try to play the exact same way and the same mentality that the first group play within the organization. Red Bulls have the lead here. The team looking for their first road win since May 26th, 37 days ago. Inter Miami trying to get on the scoreboard here in the first half. Left it goes. They've held a good chunk of the possession. They've been quite dangerous enough through the midfield, and too often it's led to giveaways and counter-attacking moments. Escana wins the ball cleanly. according to Alyssa Nichols. She turns around and starts running back towards midfield. Pretty good work right there by the 19-year-old for the Dominican. It's been a season for Miami that's been filled with challenging moments in terms of goal scoring. They've had stretches without scoring goals. Long droughts as well throughout the season. The question, though, becomes, can they find some of that attacking ability? They've held possession for 70% of the game right now. I mean, think about this. 230 passes to 93. When New York have gotten the ball, it's been a quick attack. And here they go again. That ball won't slide through the final line of defense. Julian Hall just didn't get enough on it. And here comes Miami back on the front foot. Neville pushing forward. Johnson right back for the Englishman. Neville goes down. No foul whistled. Back line for Red Bulls. Tall task once more. Johnson and Ascana go back and forth. It's been very difficult to score against New York this season. 5th fewest goals allowed in next pro. 17 this season. Caputo. Johnson. That's it back. There were runners there, just didn't have enough on it to find a teammate, and Marcucci controls it easily. 45th minute of play. And like I said, we're hearing 1 minute of stoppage time. Foul whistle. Well, the only shot for Miami came in the 7th minute. They have not attempted one since. And it has been a half that has lacked offensive outbursts. Just 3 total shots on the ledger. Sabufu takes it away. Red Bulls looking for their moment. Inside of the box, strong shot. Jensen a save. Second chance. Blocked off of the post. It's still loose. Did it go? It did. Red Bulls have expanded their lead on a ricocheting rocket into the area. Jensen couldn't keep it out. And New York goes up 2-0 in the waning seconds of the first half. Here's another look at it. It's a hard initial attempt. The second go at it just does go in. Jensen pushed it out. But you can see the official make the decision on the far side. And Red Bulls have gotten their second goal. Give it to Mullings. It's his first in next pro. His last goal came in the USL Championship last year against Atlanta United 2 in the 90th minute. There's just something about him. And stoppage time goals. That has been important. And there's the first half whistle. Red Bulls get a pair of goals. They have struck twice here in the opening half, and it's New York out to a 2-0 edge here at Drive Pink Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. And after a half that did not see a lot of shots, it is the visitors out in front, 2-0. classic fan favorite from 2001. Goalie Wars is back at the MLS All-Star Skills Challenge presented by AT&T 5G on Tuesday, July 18th. 4 MLS Next Pro goalkeepers will face off in a head-to-head single elimination tournament. In each 92nd round, goalies must defend their net while trying to score on the opponent by kick, throw, or drop kick. You won't want to miss the action. Here are the goalkeepers that are selected for the action.
Shaking hands. Cannon starts first, goes for the arm. Look at Zach.
A special save for Damian Loss.
He gets the dummy, the look, no look.
Marvalo cannot get it past Martino, who gets a second save.
Sliding it through. Osorio. Forward ball's here for Nessie. Brilliant save by Walker. And starts first, goes.
Handier's open, good save, Valdez.
That'll be an exciting festivities, much like the first half has been here. A 2-0 New York Red Bulls lead on Inter Miami 2. We're finishing week 15 with 13 more weeks to go. Let's spotlight the best of the first half of the season as Michelle and Samara give out the mid-season awards.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but we are already at the midpoint of the second season of MLS Next Pro. I'm Michelle Montaigne, joined alongside Samara Perez, and we're here with your mid-season awards.
Our first award is Best Mid-Season Player, and that goes to someone who's been booming as of late in both MLS Next Pro and MLS. That's Nick Firmino of Atlanta United 2. The Brazilian-American midfielder leads the league in goals with 10 and has 3 assists so far. He also recently debuted with the first team, making an instant impact off the bench, scoring his first goal just 3 minutes after stepping onto the pitch. In over 1,200 minutes played, Firmino boasts an 86% passing rate, the highest among the top 5 Golden Boot contenders.
In the net, the best goalkeeper of the first half of the season belongs to Verdos. Damian Loss, who leads the league in clean sheets with 7, has started every game in net for Austin FC 2. He also leads a defense that has conceded the fewest goals across MLS Next Pro, only allowing 10 through 16 matches, and only once allowing a team to score more than 1 goal in a game. He'll look to put his skills on display during Goalie Wars at the MLS All-Star Challenge on July 18th.
Our best rising star at the midpoint is Giorgio de Libera. The Columbus Crew Academy player opened up his professional goal count in Matchday 8, also providing an assist. De Libera has impressed with his performance through 13 matches played, boasting an 89% passing accuracy. The Crew 2 youngster has also captained 4 times this season.
As for the best team at the midpoint of the season, the majority vote goes to Rapids 2, of course. The team from Colorado has dominated offensively, scoring the most goals so far this season, while also holding their own on defense, conceding the 3rd fewest goals in the league, with nominees in almost every category: player, rising star, and coach. It makes sense that their collective effort is recognized as the best team through Matchday 14.
And for our final mid-season award, the recipient for Best Coach category goes to Jose Tavares. Under his stellar guidance, expansion side Crown Legacy FC has reigned the Eastern Conference standings for 11 straight weeks. The former FC Porto B coach has led the North Carolina team to a conference-leading 2.33 points per game, racking up the most points in the East.
Now, of course, there's still a lot of soccer left to be played this season, but halfway through it, these individuals have really shined. We can't wait to see what they do from now until the MLS Next Pro Cup in October, but until then, congratulations to all of our winners.
Halftime Here at Drive Pink Stadium, it is a 2-0 lead for New York Red Bulls, 2 at the break. Our next player profile features Portuguese forward Diego Pacheco of Minnesota. Samara recently sat down with a young star to discuss his journey to the pros.
Hi MLS Next Pro fans, thanks for joining us on a new player profile feature. I'm Samara Perez. Hailing from Lisbon, Portugal, our guest today is 2C's captain Diogo Pacheco. Diogo, thanks so much for making time for us today. We are delighted to have you on.
Thanks for having me, Samara.
Now turning his way up, slips it to Pacheco, and Minnesota finds its first.
The inline Masanvi, he kept it in front. What a way to finish this off for Minnesota. Masanvi to Pacheco.
Diogo, we recently reached the midpoint of the season. What can you tell us about your performance in the first half of this campaign?
I think a lot of it comes to, I would say, daily commitment and discipline. I think my teammates, my team this year has been a big part of it. The way we interact on and off the field, I think that's been crucial. But I think the big difference from last year is like the way I've been trying to adapt every game to each opponent we play. Just finding ways to help the team, scoring goals, making assists, and in any type of way.
So in the inaugural season, one of your goals was to become a leader for the team. Talk to us about your current role in MNUFC 2 and how it has evolved.
Last year, I think it was a little bit of an introduction year for everyone. And at the end of the season, I made a commitment and I told myself I was going to be a leader, because I think we were all really pissed that we didn't make to the playoffs last year. And as a leader, what I'm trying to do is just be my best version, the version of myself every day, and make everyone better in training, make sure everyone feels good in training, trying to improve on and off the field. And like I said, this team, I think it's special. It's a really special group, the harmony within the locker room. We all have really good relationships, and yeah, I'm happy to be a leader. If you ask me, it's like an easy task because everyone is so like together that it really helps me, and I'm really proud of being a leader for these guys.
We're glad to hear that. Diogo, we've learned that you have a strong and positive mindset. What does the word resilience mean to you?
I think I was taught in a very young age that things don't really go in the way you want them to go all the time. So I know life is like that, and I'm always ready when something bad happens. And yeah, I'm just always looking for things positively. Because at the end of the day, I'm doing what I love to do, which is to play this game, soccer. And it's such a blessing to wake up and do this every day, get the opportunity to play for Minnesota United. It's really a blessing, and to come every day and be with these guys in the locker room, I mean, what else can I ask for?
You moved to the US back in 2018 with a new opportunity to advance your career in soccer, but within a few days, you received some devastating news about your health. Can you share with us what that was and how that made you feel?
So yeah, in 2018, around July, I flew all the way from Portugal to Akron in Cleveland. And a few days later, I found out from the exams I did back home that I had a cancer. And I'm laughing, it's not funny, but my family, when they called me at the time, they were like, oh, the doctor said you have cancer. And I was like, oh, okay, like when the season is over, I'll fly back home and we can take care of it. So I was not really understanding the dimension of this at the time. But when my dad told me, no, you're not understanding, like you gotta fly home right now, like tomorrow. And I kind of started sobbing at that point because I was so excited with this new experience in college in Akron. And yeah, the next day I flew home, I had surgery the next day. all went well. My family was there with me, and that was really important to me to have them supporting me during that tough time. And I remember it took me like 20 days to come back to Akron. I remember everyone was like, oh, this is probably like gonna take you the whole season to heal and take care of yourself, but I think it was in 20 days I flew back to Akron, started training again, and yeah, I was just so happy to be back. And again, I think just when you have the positive mindset that everything's gonna go all right, I feel like that helps you in these type of situations. And yeah, I'm just happy that everything went well and that my family was there to support me.
We're happy to hear that as well, that everything went well. And how are you feeling today?
Feeling amazing.
Diogo, what are the biggest aspirations you have for your soccer career?
I think this league is a really big opportunity for me and obviously every other player in the league. But I think everyone's goal in this league is to sign for the first team. I've been working really hard for that. I've been trying to get better every day in training, in games, and that's definitely the major goal for me, to sign for the first team here. I'm trying to give my best every day, and if not here, someone else, you know, you never know what opportunities come at the end of the season. As a dream, I always dream about playing in Premier League. I feel like that was always my biggest dream, to play in England in the Premier League. So yeah, who knows? We'll see. We'll keep working for that.
For sure, we will see, and we're excited to see how far you go and how successful you get to become. Well, Diogo, we want to thank you so much for speaking with us today and sharing your story as well.
Thank you so much, Samara. Thanks for having me.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm Samara Perez. Until next time.
Top into the first half highlights from New York Red Bulls and Inter Miami 2 here at Drive Pink Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. This was an early opportunity from Cam Johnson heading the ball down. That came in the 7th minute. The problem was it was nearly another hour until the next opportunity, or check that, another 45 minutes for Inter Miami to get their next shot of the end of the first half, as this ball from Deja proved to be the difference maker, as Sabuya was able to finish that ball into the back of the net, as it was his 4th goal of the season, 2nd consecutive match for the 22-year-old native of Uganda. This shot from Caputo came very late, 40th minute of the first half, to take that shot, and seemingly this half was coming to an end. There were some fouls between both sides, but this one coming from nearly out of nowhere. Mullings in the first minute of stoppage time had his first shot blocked, his second shot ricocheted off of the pipe and just did slide past the line, and Mullings tallied his first goal in MLS Next Pro in the first minute of added time, and that gave Red Bulls 2 a 2-0 advantage at the break. And here's your stats, and boy, are they deceiving, because even though the shots right now are even, passing accuracy better for Inter Miami, possession higher for Inter Miami, New York has clearly been the more decisive of the two sides through the opening 45 minutes of play. And a Miami team that has the 4th fewest goals in the league this season and have been shut out just 1 time at home on the year. As work cut out for him here in this second half of play. And we'll find out what happens as these clubs square off for a second half of play here at Drive Pink Stadium on a Sunday after a 51-minute weather delay. We are locked and loaded right back into this thing. Just about ready to start off the second half. Everybody ready to roll. Alyssa Nichols waiting for the all clear. Checks her watch. And now here we go for half number 2. Michael Watrang with you with our entire crew. Come in and stay a while for half number 2 as Red Bulls 2 look for a second consecutive win. And looking to sweep the regular season series against Inter Miami. How does Inter Miami come out in the second half? The team in desperate need of some goal-scoring punch. Flag up here on Borgelin for offside after Marcucci came all the way out. Marcucci hasn't really been challenged that much. It's a rich history of New York Red Bulls too. Played in the USL Championship for 8 years, won the USL Cup in 2016. That season still reigns as one of the best in that league's history. 2.3 points per match is the second best in the history of the USL Championship. Orlando has the top mark in that, and they're currently in MLS Next Pro as well. This ball booted right through the middle. Couple touches, a slide. Now Sullivan sends it wide. Reed. And a foul given.
Leave it.
It's the New York side that have scored just 9 times in the second half this season. This is somewhat unfamiliar territory for New York. This ball sent towards the top of the 18. Mullings giving chase. He goes down in the box. What's the decision here? It's a penalty. Mullings' strength, able to win the penalty. Fine work on a seemingly harmless ball on a nod. And it looked like Sesak had the clear path to it. Only 2 teams have attempted more PKs this year, and that's Tacoma and Portland. And it'll be an opportunity for Red Bulls to expand their lead. Bento Estrella eyes it. He strikes it, and it bulges the strings. It is Ibrahim Kasule. He scores for the 6th time in the last 7 matches, and the Red Bulls soaring in Miami out to a 3-0 edge. Ibrahim Kasule has been so strong. A brace has been the only thing that he hasn't done in the last month. And he scores on the penalty. Just a red-hot run of form. Sule with a goal. And that makes it 3-0. Sule has scored for a 3rd match in a row. Did so at Crown Legacy. So against FC Cincinnati, and now against Inter Miami. It's his 4th goal on the road this season out of the 6 that he's tallied. Well, when I spoke with Ibrahim Sakaya about the run of form right now by Kasule, and he said that Kasule understands the demands of being a number 10. Here's Borgelin with a good touch. Reed saves the day, however. New York can recycle. The instructions were simple for Kasule. Foul whistled. Free kick coming. Sakaya said was give him the resources to be the player that we wanted him to be. And you will see him soar, and that is exactly what has happened as he has joined this Red Bulls 2 unit and has been nearly flawless in the last 6 weeks. Well, the 3 goals is the second most this season. This was a Red Bulls team that didn't score multiple goals until May 14th. But now the 4th time in which they've done so. 4th in the last 10 with double-digit goals. Meek brought it down. Borgelin sends it back. Now really no pressure for Miami. Down 3-0. You're playing with house money at this point. And you wonder what kind of choices Federico Iguan might be making. Well, it's not often this year where both sides have a full complement of reserves available, but that is exactly what both of these sides had. 9 players on the bench for each side. You wonder when a change might be made for either of the 2 teams. And here comes Red Bulls once more. A foul whistled. Deja. Well, the one thing that you can say about both of these sides is when they've gotten shots, they've been on frame. 7 of the 9 shots so far have been on target. There's a foul whistled. And now an additional conversation as well. Alyssa Nichols wanting to ensure that everything tidies up. This is the 10th time this year that Miami have given up multiple goals in a match. Just to go to show the margin of challenges this group has run into, they've lost 4 matches by 1-0 differentials this year. And that's been the grind that Miami have been on throughout this season, trying to find the net. With any level of consistency. As you think about it, those are points that you leave on the table when you lose 1-0. Deja bangs into Meek, but no foul given. Instead, a throw for Deja. Borgelin has seemingly been a one-man crew up top for much of the match. Cameron Johnson had his moments early. All give chase. He wins the race to it. Excellent slide to get it out. It is a corner, however. Excellent hustle by Sarsar Cairo. Played his collegiate soccer right near here at Nova Southeastern. Here comes the corner from Bento Estrella. Bends it towards the penalty dot. He gets cleared away after the header was won. Well, New York has capitalized on their chances in this one, despite seeing very little of the ball. Every time they've taken an aim at one, it has been successful. The team with just 31% possession so far in this match. but when they have had possession, they've been ultra dangerous. And 35 minutes to go, plus added time. 3-0 right now. Goals is their widest margin of victory so far this season. That was a 4-1 win over Revolution 2 to begin June. Sesak gives it away. Mullings goes down. And a foul will give it. And I think we're going to get a card as well. And indeed, Nick Sesak, who gave up the penalty that Mullings drew in the 48th minute, and that allowed Kasule to score in the 49th. Estrella and Deja on top of it. Those two have played some dangerous balls so far in this match. With an assist so far. He runs off of it. Estrella lays it low. And now he takes aim at one after getting the pass back. Osita nods it along. Kasule strikes. Didn't have enough on it to get it through that wave of defenders. Touches the ground for the first time in a few moments. Sullivan takes it. And another card coming out of the pocket of Alyssa Nichols. That is Santiago Morales picking up the yellow. A couple halftime changes. Morales and Israel Boatwright are on. Neville and Ascana are off for Miami. Just got word of those. This ball swung into the box. And it falls right at the feet of Mullings. Jensen comes up strong with a big save. There was nobody there. Mullings had his pick, and Jensen with a save. Inter Miami gets something here in this second half. An opportunity running onto it. It is Sunderland getting stopped. Marcucci comes up with a save as Miami has its first great chance. Well, this is a very good run by Sunderland. And was able to hold on to it long enough to take a shot. Marcucci saves. Marcucci entered with an 80% save percentage. This is a Red Bulls team that has been really strong this year. 5 clean sheets, 4th most in the league. And Marcucci keeps it right at that number. Red Bulls, though, haven't had a clean sheet since the 1-0 win over Miami on May 21st. They've given up goals in 6 in a row. 60th minute of play. Red Bulls lead at 3-0. 2 first half goals and a goal within the first 5 minutes of the second half. Have the Red Bulls eyeing a second straight win. With our entire crew, I'm Michael Watrang. Glad to have you along for the ride on a Sunday evening. And a foul given here. And this will be a yellow as well. Well, now the cards are flowing. Aiden Reed will get, no, check that, can't be Reed. He already has a yellow. Oh, it will be. It is Reed. So it's a yellow to Reed for the second time. And Marcucci is having a conversation on whether or not that's the right person that committed the infraction. And Marcucci's going to get shown a yellow card. So Reed is sent off. And things get interesting. So it's a second yellow in the 61st minute. That means a red. And that means for the final half hour, they'll be down a man. So indeed, that was Reed. I think Marcucci thought that Nocita was much closer. And that's why I hesitated at the moment, because it wasn't a prompt back pocket pull from Alyssa Nichols. So down to 10 men for the final 30 minutes. Go Red Bulls. Let's see if Miami can take advantage off of the training ground. Play doesn't initially work, but Cesark will hold on to it. And that ball twists out of play. Well, if there was ever an advantage given, this would certainly be it. Changes coming for Miami once again. It'll be Jack Pym and Alejandro Flores coming in. Lawson Sunderland and Cameron Johnson are coming out. Those are two of the more dangerous players that Miami have to offer. And they bring in a pair of teenagers to replace those two.
Hey, come on, come on.
Federico Iguan making boatloads of changes. Now brought in 4 new players on a lineup that had 6 new players in the starting 11. Well, crazier things have happened. And with 30 minutes to go with a man advantage, can Miami get the first one back? This portion of the match is brought to you by Auto Nation, the official automotive retailer and dealership of Inter Miami CF. Bodies collide on the free kick. Caputo doesn't hold on to it long enough. It ends up going out harmlessly for a goal kick. A Miami team that has been in the doldrums for much of this season. Went through a winless drought of 4 straight match days. At the end of May to start off June, bounced back with a win over FC Cincinnati 2. Picked up a draw against Toronto. They're unbeaten in their last 2 at home. But they will need some kind of effort in the final 25 minutes to get a point out of this one. Mullings takes a tumble. Advantage played, however, Estrella. And a long ball sent looking for Hall that goes out. And enough of an advantage was given according to Alyssa Nichols. And a change coming as well now for New York, their first change. Arian Recitos is onto the pitch. Looks like Julian Hall is the man that is coming out. Recitos, a 17-year-old defender. Indeed, it is Hall, so that's very much a defensive change. You take out the forward with a goal on the season, you bring in a defender and Recitos. Sesak. It's Meek. Meek just couldn't quite get enough on that to maintain possession and slow down the pace. Well, this is one of those matches right now with Red Bulls down to 10 men. If you're Miami, you just want one in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And maybe that opens the floodgates for this group, just a confidence boost for a team that's been shut out 7 times this year. Sometimes you see that where first goal comes in. Maybe you can add a little bit more to that. Red Bulls eyeing the full complement of points. They would maintain their striking distance on the top of the table. Here's Sesak. Cuts it back, but the flag is up for offside. Marcucci was in a precarious spot. Sesak thought about perhaps chipping him, but the flag was up. There's no question we're going to see Miami with much of the ball, but they had much of the ball when it was 11 v 11. Been near 70%, almost the entirety of the match. Marcucci sends it down the yard. And Jensen will get the touch after just one other man got a piece. Flag down this time for Meek. And he commits the foul. And it appears as if a card is out as well. And Meek will be shown a yellow card. He's the 3rd different player to get one on Miami, and they have come free-flowing here in the second half. Just 1 in the first half, and now all of a sudden we have 5 here in the second half. Including that second yellow to Jaden Reed. Marcucci sends it back into play. High arcing bounce. Mullings gets stood up by Tyler Hall. When I spoke with Ibrahim Sakaya about his team's overall defense, he said that we have excellent goalkeepers. We can trust them. Equally comfortable with any of them if they're in net. Always have to make that decision going through the week on who to play. Clean sheet so far, 69th minute. Sesak. That ball actually did get past one defender. Alyssa Nichols says that it was touched. So it is a corner coming up. This portion of the match is brought to you by Florida Blue, the official health insurance of Inter Miami CF. Here comes the hooking corner in. Look at all the black jerseys waiting for the second ball. Sesak the first to it. Runners now coming back into the box. Miami just trying to find some gaps now. The Bulls have really no need to push anybody forward. Here's Pim. Has his pass deflect, and the worst possible outcome there is it leads to a counter-attacking chance. Boatwright on the possession. Boatwright goes down and draws a foul. There was no chance he was going to catch up to that ball. Nocita was right on top of it after the heavy touch, but Boatwright wins the set piece. Here's another glance at it. Really heavy on that touch. Nocita was the closest man to it by a mile. Well, here's a change coming. Ezekiel Abdadia, Rita coming in. 17-year-old defender. Here comes this set piece opportunity. Curled in. That was a nice winder. Here's a chance. Cleared off of the line. Borgelin strikes, and that gets blocked out. Almost miraculous for Red Bulls to keep the clean sheet intact. This was a juicy chance for Pim. Nocita in a great spot. Borgelin as well. Those two both denied. Everything going Red Bull's way right now. Miami inching closer and closer to a breakthrough. Just haven't quite been able to get lucky so far. Down 3-0. Sabufu scored in the 14th minute. Mullings in the first minute of stoppage time in the first half. And Kasule tucked in a penalty kick in the 49th minute after Mullings drew the foul on Sesak. That's why we sit at 3-0 in favor of Red Bulls 2. Looking for a second consecutive win and the first win away from home since May 26th. Miami, conversely, have only been shut out once at home. Looking to get one on the board here. And yet again, Nocita at 6'8". He blocks everything. With just 10 men, Red Bull will hold on to as much possession as they can. So here comes a change. Ibrahim Kasule has scored for the 6th time in the last 7 matches. He will come off. The shift is over. Henry Wise is coming on, the 23-year-old from England. Well, Kasule did his part. Another day and another goal for the young Ugandan. Quality shift, quality game-changing moment. Now it's on Wise and the rest of this group down to 10 men. A team that was terrific on the road to start, unbeaten in their first 4 from the Empire State. Winless in their last 3, but it has been a clinical effort today. A team that hasn't seen a lot of the ball, then at times has been heavy defense and allowed the passes for Miami to circulate around really without much damage. Minus the moment a few minutes ago in the 71st minute when Pim had a ball cleared off the line by Nocita, and then Borgelin on a rebound from right on the doorstep, banged it off the back of a defender. Red Bulls have been in control. A team that has dominated first halves this year and has won 7 of the 10 matches in which they've scored first and have taken points in 2 others. Look well on their way to 3 more points tonight. Here in the 75th minute, Red Bulls leading Miami 3-0. This portion of the match is brought to you by Baptist Health, the official medical provider of Inter Miami CF. With our MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Michael Watreng. Great to have you with us on a Sunday. Game got started 51 minutes late due to weather in the area, some lightning, some storms, just as you might get in South Florida, but it's been nice ever since. The only thing for the home side that hasn't been has been the result so far. Trying to find some kind of response. Red Bulls attacking once more. Sabufu measures but gets it blocked. Excellent turn there by Meek. Meek plays first time ball. Borgelin comes up a little lame after that. Sabufu lackadaisical with it. Gives it away. Even being up a man, Miami's still struggling to find that finishing touch in the attacking third. Ball swung in. Here is Borgelin, but he's offside. Flag up promptly. He was in a good bit of space. I mean, it's not just the volume of passing that Miami have had, but the accuracy as well. 423 passes, 86% accuracy. Just 179 and 64% for New York. I mean, for the Red Bulls, you can circle about 5 moments in this game that have been difference making. From the attack to a couple defensive plays that have frustrated Miami. Mullings goes down, and a corner kick coming up here for Red Bulls too. And yet again, high accuracy shooting. 5 of the 6 shots for Miami have been on target, but all 5 have been stopped. And a corner kick coming up. Estrella will head over to the corner flag. Have some choices to make here. Not a lot of numbers for it. In fact, you see just 4 men in the box. High arcing bender into the 18. Sabufu actually won the header. Second ball chance. It's cleared away from Sullivan. Mercida goes back to get it. Easily could have gone backwards. Instead, lofts forwards and has the ball go out. Window that I was talking about for Miami to get 1 back has passed. You looked at about a 5 to 10 minute stretch. Just trying to get that first one back to give yourself enough time to try to break those lines down. Certainly in the 71st minute, they had that chance when Pim and Borgelin were within 6 yards and couldn't finish because of the defense and the wall that was formed right in front of the chalk. Here's Meek. And it is a corner. Much to the chagrin of Deja and Marcucci. It is taken quickly by Miami. They switch the line of the fields here. Boatwright sends it into the box. Cleared right back to Pim. Boatwright again. 2 defenders come to him this time. With a man advantage. More passing options now for Miami. Morales gets taken down, and that will lead to a set piece. But we've seen with Miami, they haven't felt that comfortable sending balls into the 18-yard box. They've played a lot of corners and set pieces short. Looking to turn the tide of the formation. Morales will have choices to have here. And indeed it will be Morales. This time he does sting it in. Flag is up though. Offside. Borgelin. Whistled for offside. And Marcucci goes down. One of the last things you want to see if you're Red Bulls in his 13th start of the year. Well on their way to a 9-4 mark when he starts. When you look at Marcucci, he was the first player from a Division III program drafted in MLS when he was taken 67th overall in 2021. He was a two-time first-team Division III All-American at Connecticut College. And he is well on his way to a 5th clean sheet. Definitely looked like when he went up for that ball, his hand got right on to the head of Borgelin. He gets help to his feet, trying to gather himself. Well, now I thought it might have been the hand, but maybe it's in the upper body as well. Here's another look at it. You can see Borgelin sneak into an offside roll. Marcucci comes out. Definitely looks like he got the hand in there. Certainly could have been impacted by it, as well as maybe a little bit of overextension. So now Marcucci back to his feet and ready to roll. 3 changes for Red Bulls 2 in that last pass. Here's one of them, Ricardo Gourdet. Entered for Mullings. And Roseboro as well as Juan Gutierrez. And it is Estrella and Deja as well on the bench. Less than 10 minutes to go. Should get a decent chunk of stoppage time. I'm sure if I would have posed these numbers to Federico Iguan prior to this match. Voluminous possession, accurate shooting, red card in the 60th minute to your opponent. You'd feel really good about coming out of this with points. Foul given. Gourdet was making the run. And a yellow card shown as well. That one shown to Boatwright. But it has been anything but a point-taking effort by Miami in this one, due in large part to the quality that the Red Bulls have shown in their moments. Here's another look at it. Boatwright coming across, not getting anywhere close to the ball. Sabufu, Sule, and Mullings with goals so far for Red Bulls. And now a free kick coming. It'll be an aim at the frame. And Gourdet all over everything. Gourdet, the last one to get a piece. Ibrahim Zakaya mentioned to me when I spoke with him this week, focus isn't really on the playoffs. It's about that overall development of our players. Getting better on a day-over-day basis. This will certainly show that with a multi-goal scoring effort for the 4th time in the last 10. The only thing left is a clean sheet. Would be the 6th of the year for a team that's been in the top 5 in the category for a good chunk of time. But it would be the first clean sheet since May 21st in a 1-0 win over Miami. Conversely, on the Miami side, you allow multiple goals for the 10th time this year, now in the 16th match of the season. And the growing pains continue for this group. At times it has been positive, it has been knocking on the door. But that's what you get with youth, inconsistency. And you always have to turn your lens to a wider focus of what else is going on. Being in a professional system, also having to deal with the weather delay tonight. Foul whistled. Being at home, it's been a Miami team that's been much more potent and better. Well, it feels like the 3 points are all for the Red Bulls now. Miami trying to salvage a goal. Pinged into the box. Nocita at 6'8". Nothing's going to get past him. By far the tallest player on the pitch. Here's Flores. Nocita again, the first man to it. Here's a swinging effort by Sarsar Cairo. Just couldn't get a good piece of it. Miami have turned it up a notch. You're trying to get something out of this. Well, I thought Melissa Nichols was going to blow her whistle. She did not. Leads to this attack. Options to be picked from here. Nocita has been a one-man blocking crew in front of the frame on this recent stretch. And again, the response controlled. It's been a clinical defensive effort by Red Bulls. Meek continues along his run. He's gone to an offside position. Possession given away by Badia Rita. Well, you have to think that the match changed in a 10-minute window when Jaden Reed picked up a second yellow card. Red Bulls have been playing with 10 men for nearly the last 30 minutes. And 10 minutes after that, in the 71st minute, off of a set piece, Pym had a shot attempt from the penalty spot that Nocita cleared off of the line. And Borgelin had a second chance in a tight window and found a piece of a defender and cleared over the bar. That was a moment just as momentum was shifting onto the Miami side. And it felt like Red Bulls had dodged the bullet and had been able to tame things from that point forward. Instead of it being 3-1 with 20 minutes to go with a man advantage and perhaps some invigoration going into the Miami side, it has been anything but. This is a nice weighted ball. Nocita, for the first time, doesn't block that. Borgelin had a piece. It's still loose. And finally, Red Bull is able to clear and swipe it all the way down to a lonely Jensen on that end of the pitch. Red Bulls clear indication now. Entirety of their focus on maintaining the clean sheet. Possession meaningless as it has been much of the day. It's a New York team that will end with about 28% of the possession. Will be outpassed by nearly a 4-1 margin. But the other part of it, half of New York's passes have been in the attacking third versus just a fifth of Miami. Red Bulls would be delighted to get a fourth as Gourdet goes down, draws the foul as we hit the 90-minute mark, and we'll get 2 minutes of added time. Red Bulls will take as much time off of the clock as they can here. Corday took shot in the 85th minute off of a free kick. This time Red Bulls will be more than content with just holding on to the ball. Maybe try to win another corner. Instead it's promptly taken away by Sarsar Cairo. Nocita to Marcucci. Well, it's a very nice header, but not a legal header. Gutierrez called for the foul. Final minute of play. Looks like Borgelin, who was banged up a little bit earlier, starting to limp, as he'll go the full 90 tonight. 14 goals last season, one of the top goal scorers in MLS Next Pro. Just never quite could put his thumbprint on this match. And the clock winding down. Red Bulls will have their first clean sheet since May 21st. And will dominate the season series with Miami. Morales, Meek. Meek will make it one more corner. No, it will not. The corner will not be given. Instead, it's the full-time whistle. And it's a victory for Red Bulls 2 for the second match in a row. Tonight's man of the match, presented by Adidas, goes to New York Red Bulls 2. Frank Sabufu, he got everything started. In the 14th minute, a sprawling finish. Just absolutely delightful from the 22-year-old from Uganda, who's represented the senior club on a few occasions in his time. And it's a flawless effort by Red Bulls on the road, a 3-0 victory for New York as they stay in the top 4 of the Eastern Conference. 3-0 the victory for Red Bulls 2 here tonight. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Michael Watring. Once again, where our final score is Red Bulls 3 and Inter Miami 0. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long and MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Thanks so much for watching. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted broadcast of MLS Next Pro may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcasted without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.